Welcome back. Today is just a little video to share something that happened to me this week. I came back from making a recording, and when I got there, there was a parcel had arrived for me. Now, I wasn't expecting any parcels, and it was a pretty big box, so big. No idea who it's from, nothing at all. And when I opened it, this was inside. It's from Fosi Audio, i5 planar magnetic headphone. I went, wow, I didn't order it, didn't know anything about it, no idea who sent it to me. There was no message in it, nothing at all, just a pair of headphones in a box. So I pulled them out. And yeah, I've already put a cable on them. And these, so I thought, you know what? These are really, really nice. They've got like wooden sides, beautiful wooden sides. A leather, well, I'm told it's not real leather, but it feels like real leather. Now that's good for me. I prefer faux leather. Nice big cups, very impressive, left and right. You can adjust the straps here. They're a little bit heavier than my normal headphones. So I plugged them in, stuck them on. Now I've got quite a small head, so I had to put them on. And I knew nothing about them. So I knew nothing about the price or anything. And I tried them out. Now, first of all, I thought, I'm not so sure. But you have to remember that I'm used to these. And these are the Composer headphones from Austrian Audio. And these headphones I bought cost €2,500. Now, they are extremely good. And I principally bought them because they go so low. And I could hear detail in very, very low. And the idea was for when we were doing some mastering or whatever, and I want to do a final check before we go to CD or print or vinyl or whatever, I can check and just see if there's any rumble or anything on there which I don't particularly like, just in that final mix, and I can just hear it how other people will hear it. And they're very accurate. Now, I never really use them for listening to music because they just do a job. They're there to do my monitoring on. But the other day, because these things just turned up. Honestly, I still have no idea who sent it to me. I haven't Whoops, I've just spilled some water. Honestly, I have no idea who sent it to me. I've still not heard anything from anyone, emails. I'm going to have to start writing around. Maybe it's the distributor. I have no idea. Anyway, I did review some Fosi equipment earlier, and they were very kind to support and sponsor our Christmas video. So maybe it was from them. It probably is. I'll reach out to them. Anyway, so when I put them on and started listening the other day, the next thing I knew, I wasn't critical. Now, they didn't go as deep as the Composer. I don't know anything about the really super high-end treble because my hearing isn't that brilliant, to be honest, above about 8,600, 9,000 hertz. There isn't a lot of information coming into my ears at that point. But up to that point, everything was sounding very, very nice. And the next thing I knew, even though they're heavy, they're very comfortable. Next thing I knew, I was just listening and listening and listening. And I was switching from genres to violins, orchestral, chamber music, piano, even the Beatles, Abbey Road, the first track, Come Together. And delightful, really, really delightful. Do you know what they reminded me of? They reminded me of my friend Erwin's ESLs from Quads. He's had them refurbished recently. They're the big ones. And they've got a very similar sound to them. delightful, really, really nice to listen to. And so I thought, well, I'm going to check out how much these things would cost. And it seems they're roughly around 600 euros. And at the time of research, there were other YouTube reviewers talking about special offers, and if you move now, you can get them for 350 or something. And probably they all received them as well, thinking about it. Maybe it's a new marketing trick. But I can assure you, I'm not going to say anything about these that just because they've turned up, because I'm very, very happy just to send them back again. I didn't ask for it. So I'm just going to tell you how I feel about it. But I have to tell you, I really like these. Not only do they look fantastic, but there are some niggling things. When I'm comparing to my €2,500 composers, the cable here is quite thick, so it's quite heavy, but it's not very short. If I show you here, this is the composer cable. Can you see how long this is? This means I can literally step away from my desk or the mixing desk and step back a bit. It's a really nice long cable, and it's much, much thinner. When you see it, it's much thinner. So that I prefer. This was a bit too short for me, but I can understand if you're sitting at your desk and you've only got a desktop system, then this would be fine. The other thing was really annoying. I don't know if you can see that here, but I've stuck some gaffer tape around here because the adapter from the very small jack to the standard jack, I call this the standard jack, which goes into our mixing desks and into Revox tape machines, that kind of thing. This just pushed in, whereas on most Pro gear, when you have an adapter, it unscrews. Now, why is it important that it has to screw up? Is because when you pull it out, you don't want this piece to stay in the machine. And that's exactly what happened with this. When I pulled it out, this bit stayed in, and I had to get a pair of pliers literally to pull the damn thing out. So what I did was I put a bit of gaffer tape around it, and now it's fixed. So if I was going to keep these, and certainly if I was going to spend money on buying them, I would immediately change this cable, or at least get an extension lead with a proper plug on the end which would pull in and out. Now they did supply, I don't know if I've got it here, so yeah, another cable with a balanced output, but it's about the same length as well. But I'm not an expert on headphones, as you probably know. All I know are the Sennheiser HD 600s, which my daughter's currently got, and I've used them for 15 years. And I have to say, these, to me, from memory, sound actually much, much nicer. And to listen to music, these are fabulous. In fact, you know what? I'm going to find out who sent them to me and thank them and offer to pay for them. But I think I might keep these because they look very nice. And I'm sure my customers or visitors who are coming to the listening room to hear our loudspeakers or amplifiers or whatever, or musicians coming to hear something we've recorded together, I think they might like these. And yeah, they're very, very forgiving. So the bass is there. It seems to be rolled off. I'm guessing that it's beginning to roll off somewhere around about 70 hertz, just from the tracks I've listened to. The voices are very, very nice. They're very smooth. Nothing is exaggerated. They're not shouting at you. So they're very laid back, very relaxing to listen to. And although they are just, I think, a little bit heavier than these, maybe, it's difficult to say, they're certainly bigger, they are extremely comfortable. Little thing I would also say is that maybe I see the printed Fosi audio in red on the side here, and the L is in blue. And on the right here, they've got Fosi audio in red, and the R is still in blue. You know what? I think I would just print this Fosi audio the same color as the little L, because then you know instantly when you pick it up which is left and right. Just simple little things. I know you've got it on the plug, but it's also possible that you could plug the wrong one in by accident in. So yeah, just a little thing like that. The cable and this, but for the rest, a delightful, delightful headphone. I don't know how long they will last for. They're using obviously this the planar technology, which I've heard a lot about. It's obviously doing its well. Planar magnetic or magnostatic is in fact the correct word. Magnostatic, it says. So it's basically an electrostatic loudspeaker in a friction of a headphone. What else? I made a couple of notes. Let me just check to see if there's anything else I should mention. I think they need more gain than my Austrian Audios. I'm not sure why, because the impedance is quite low. I think they could be driven quite easily. I mean, I hooked them up to the Revox just for fun today to check something. And actually, they sounded fine. So I think they don't need a very expensive phono amplifier. But to be honest with you, if you're going to go to 600 euros for a pair of headphones, a really good phono amplifier is a good investment. And you can get really, really good ones from, 1,000 euros and above. And maybe correct me in the comments if you know of one that's even cheaper. That is fantastic. I think everything here is good. I don't see any other comments in here. Just a very, very nice gift from someone. Maybe it's a late birthday present. Maybe someone is going to write to me and say, oh, I thought it'd be like my headphones. Maybe my son sent them to me as a birthday present and forgot to enclose the birthday card. Who knows? It's a mystery. And when I find out, I'll put it in the comments. But until then, I hope you found that interesting. This is the Fosi Audio i5 planar magnostatic headphone. Really, really good. I found out obviously that they cost about 600 euros, which for me, that looks very good value for money. If you have been, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the music.